All right, in my room because it's too windy out to give you a nice view as I talk about health insurance. But this is going to be a three-part series. There are 5 options, not just for poker player health insurance, but for anyone who's self-employed. 5 good options. 5 options. Some of them might be good for you, some might not be. This video, I'm going to cover the 2 simplest. So, one is be on your parents' health insurance plan. I don't know every detail about it, but a lot of health insurance that is offered through an employer is not just good for that person, good for that person's children also, until you're 26. So, like I was in college, and yeah, the college could offer students health insurance plans, didn't matter, because I wasn't 26, so I was on my parents. Now, it's not just okay to, like, that's the end of it. Like, I would read about the policy, I would understand where you could go, different places maybe, if it's an emergency or something that's not an emergency. Usually an emergency you could go anywhere because it's an emergency. Other places you might have to go somewhere near to where your parents live, kind of like the home base area. So don't just not know anything about it, but you don't have to fill out any paperwork to be on it. You can be on your parents' plan until you're 26 years old. I was. So for younger people, you could be self-employed, you could play poker, and you don't need to do anything. You don't have to worry about paying premiums, you don't have to worry about paperwork and dealing with health insurance agents. You're on your parents' plan. If you're older than 26, now there are some options you actually have to consider. The other very simple one is to have a job that has health insurance. Now, people asking me this, I think they want to play poker, or they're thinking about it, or they're just curious about a poker player doing it. So not a full-time job. So there's like a sliding scale. Love that term, sliding scale. Used it a lot in law school, where there's a rule that no one could ever tell you what it is, so they just say sliding scale and make up whatever they want. But there actually is like a scale. One end, someone who plays poker does nothing else ever. The absolute other extreme would be someone who works full-time, has health insurance through his or her job, and never plays poker. And then there is an area in the middle. Like a lot of people closer to this end, they play some poker, like on weekends and holidays, but they have a full-time job and they have health insurance through that job. And then you can get closer to the other end, and I'm talking about pretty close to the other extreme. Not play poker and do nothing else, but right next to it, if you can find a part-time job that offers health insurance, that's amazing. You don't need to worry about where you're getting your health insurance, you don't need to pay for premiums, and it's not that many hours, so you could still play a ton of poker. Rice, what part-time jobs? There are full-time jobs that don't offer health insurance. What part-time job offers health insurance? There's an amazing one, UPS. Amazing for a lot of reasons. I've worked at UPS before. You've probably seen me wearing my UPS shirt from Wisconsin. There are UPS locations all over. Also, it's like a fast-paced, physically demanding job, so a lot of people who are incredibly soft take it and quit after a week. So there's a lot of turnover, there are a lot of openings, it's very easy to get hired. If you could show up to the facility, like if you could make it from your house to the facility for the interview, like that's it, they hire you. The interview is really just like asking what your name is and like, these are the hours, are you willing to work these hours every week? And you say yeah, and that's the end of it. So very easy to get that job. You don't get health insurance instantly, but you do get health insurance even as a part-timer after you've been there a year. So I work the sunrise shift, which is roughly like 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. So about 20 hours a week, not a ton of hours. If you're there a year on the normal schedule, even though it's part-time hours, they call you permanent part-time. Once you've been there a year, first year, no benefits. You are under the protection of the union, but no like health insurance benefits. Once you've been there a full year, you get health insurance as if you're a full-time employee. That's awesome. So you can do that. There's 2 locations in Vegas. One, I worked at the one on North Martin Luther King Boulevard. Work there, it's about 20 hours a week. You could still play a ton of poker. Not only do you get paid a wage, but you get paid in the form of not needing to pay for health insurance premiums also. So that's an awesome deal. I don't know any other part-time jobs that offer health insurance. So I know it might not be exactly what people are asking for. I think a lot of people are asking, like, they want to play poker every day, do nothing else ever. What do they do for health insurance? This wouldn't be that. It would be roughly, I don't know, 1,000 to like 1,200 hours a year at UPS, but you could still get plenty of poker in. I've done both. before I did both, and the UPS facility and the poker room were like 80 miles apart. So you could definitely do both. Tomorrow will be 2 of the most expensive options, and day 3 will be the least expensive option. And that's it for now. And remember, rice is a spoon food.